Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is LJV Blogs and I got good news. The thing is that basically I just updated my YouTube profile like a couple of minutes ago and it's perfectly okay because that actually means that I actually have an image right now. It's something that is actually much better than everything that I've done so far, and it's a huge improvement basically for me and for this channel. So please appreciate it because it really isn't so easy as we might think. Anyway, the thing is that this is like my second weekend here in Gien. Basically, just I've told you like a couple of times, I'm basically here in France and I'm doing my internship and all that. And so far, it's been 2 weeks since I'm here, and I can say definitely that it's going really well. I mean, everything is going okay basically because uh, the enterprise that I'm actually working at is a really good one, and so far I've been able to learn many things related to management of the company and all that, even though I'm not an expert on it or anything of the sort. But I do get the feeling that I made a good choice basically coming here. And actually, which is good, is the fact that in 3 days I'll be going to Paris because I'll be starting my classes over there, which means basically that not only am I gonna be just working, but I'm also gonna be studying. Although I'll be studying in Paris and working here in Jean, which is like, I don't know, let's say 2 hours away by on car. And that actually means that it'll be difficult. But I mean, the thing is that I only got like, let's say 1.5 week in Paris, and most of the time I basically stay here in Jean, which is much better. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something important, basically, which is not related to something related to the enterprise or anything like that. That's something I will talk about probably in another video. But I feel like a couple of weeks ago, I basically decided to make a video, and unfortunately, basically, it was like a bit way too long because I didn't know like the 15 minutes limit that YouTube has, and now I'm really aware of it. So what I'm going to talk about right now is basically something that I was actually related to that video, although I couldn't actually finally make it. So I'm just gonna basically explain myself here, and this video basically is going to talk about something related to relationships, and more important, it's going to be talking about how to move from a situationship to a relationship. As you may already know, this channel actually covers anything related to personal development and something that I can consider success. So anything related to happiness definitely is related to success. In another videos, I will obviously be talking about my life here in France, such as, for example, today I'm going to Orléans. And I'll be basically talking about finances whenever I have the time. So it's going to be divided so far in situationships or relationships, love in general, finances, and my life in France. Anyway, let's get going. So basically this video is not gonna be much for guys, although probably some of you will think of it as interesting, but it's gonna be for girls. It's gonna be basically an advice for girls. And the thing is that I basically decided to do something like that because as a guy, I know how guys basically work, and I suppose that it could be a good idea if like I could give some advice to girls basically in this kind of aspect. What I'm going to talk about here is, for example, in the case that you are in point with a guy in which you basically like each other and you've been probably going on for a couple of times, but there is no compromise. I mean, you've basically said it, and the thing is that everyone's allowed to do whatever they want with other people. Not only is he allowed to do it, obviously you are allowed to do it as well, but you feel like basically you want to move on and you don't basically like that kind of step anymore, so you just basically want to get in a serious relationship with a guy. So basically, the thing is that there is a stereotype that says that basically men are, let's say, more willing to stay in a situationship rather than a relationship. And up to a certain point, I must admit that is definitely true. Yes, I do agree with it. I basically believe that in most of the cases, like for example, whenever a guy is approaching a girl, it usually happens in that way because some girls do approach guys, but in general terms, it's basically just a guy who makes the first move, and they basically are much more used to getting rejected. Like for example, when you want to meet a girl or want to talk to her, let's say, and you basically get a no for a cup of coffee or something like that. That's something that guys are more used to than girls, basically because I don't know, it works that way. However, whenever it comes down to basically just moving on to compromise, to obviously like not living together, but like having a serious relationship without a serious close relationship, let's say, then it's usually the girls basically it's usually the girls most of the times the ones who receive like a refusal or something. So in that aspect, the girls are usually more rejected than guys most of the times. Anyway, so you're basically just I don't know, a girl who basically finds a guy like really attractive, and you basically start developing feelings for him, but you already know that basically there is no compromise or something like that. So you want to talk about something like that with him, but you are afraid that he might say something like, "Well, I didn't want a serious relationship," and I mean, I just don't want to mm, have compromise with someone or something like that. So how can you avoid that situation, that case, so that you basically can actually just get the guy or make him ask you if you want to go out seriously or something of the sort. It's something that is not complicated, but it's not as simple as you might think. Like, it's not like you have to say basically just confront them and basically just say, hey, this is like an ultimatum. Like, if you want to be with me, it's going to be a serious relationship or something like that. Because it might work. Yes, it's possible that the guy might say, okay, I want to be with you or something like that. But it's also very probable that he may say something like, well, I don't really feel like having a serious relationship right now. I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time, blah, blah, blah. So, in order to avoid that kind of situation, you have to basically just do something a bit different. The thing is that you started developing feelings for that person. And if you want basically a guy to be in a serious relationship with you, that guy has to basically just know or admit that he wants, basically, that he has feelings for you. It's not like you basically have to make him confess his feelings for you, although that would be great, obviously. You basically have to make him realize that he has feelings for you. Because usually guys don't basically they do realize that they might be having feelings for someone, but it doesn't work as usually as it works for girls. Like, it's not that they basically think about how I don't know how much feelings they basically have for a girl. However, when they do realize that they have feelings for a girl, then they are basically more willing to basically have a serious relationship. So how can you basically make him get feelings for you, or make him understand that he actually likes you or something like that? It's easier than you think, because it sounds like really complicated and all. You're not obviously gonna say, hey, I want to be in a serious relationship with you and that's it. No, something that you might actually have to do is a bit different. So you basically are with him and you basically just hang out with him like a couple of times or something like that. And whatever you could do is, like, if you hang out like not only the two of you together, but also with friends and different people and something like that. The thing is that in a certain way, and obviously up to a certain limit, you have to make him a bit jealous. Let me explain myself. Basically, the thing is that you don't obviously have to like kiss another guy or something like that, because, well, that's a bit way too violent. But I mean, the thing is that if you start like, I don't know, talking to another guy, or maybe like just um, teasing with another guy like in front of him or something like that, and he gets a bit more mean to you whenever he tells you after you basically just teach with another guy, those are good news for you. Basically, because it might actually mean that that guy actually has feelings for you, obviously. So tease other guys when he's in front of you up to a certain limit, obviously. And the thing is that if you can sense that he basically gets a bit annoyed, then that's a moment when he basically just probably realizes that he has feelings for you. And if you say something like, I don't know, you would basically just tease these guys and then wait until I don't know, the evening is over or something like that, and you get like a moment together or something like that. And the thing is that if you say something like, hey, I think that you were jealous the like couple of hours ago or something like that, like you talk about his previous jealousy or something like that, and they go ahead and say something like, well, yeah, because you were totally like flirting with that guy, and why did you did that and all that, then you can basically just start talking about having a serious relationship, because he already got jealous. He already knows that he gets annoyed whenever he sees you with another guy. So basically it would be much easier for you to basically receive a yes for a serious relationship. And that's basically how guys most of the time work. So it's not that they don't really love you, that they don't have any feelings for you if they are in a situationship. It's just that they don't basically realize how important they are, how important you are to them. And if you ask like straight away, like, do you want to get in a serious relationship or not? It might be a bit violent, because they might not even have thought about it like before, just because they are in a comfortable situation with like basically just staying with you in a with no compromise. I know it sounds a bit convenient, but it's just the way that most of guys work. So if you basically make him jealous, and if you annoy them a little bit with another guy, then it's much more probable that he would want to be in a serious relationship with you, because he already realized that he has feelings for you. And that's a way in which you can have like a relationship with compromise with a guy. Obviously, like the part in which you start talking about his jealousy, and the part in which you basically start talking about like having a serious relationship is all related. You can say something like, well, you could have me all by yourself if you wanted to, or I don't know, something of the sort. But definitely making him a bit jealous might not really be a bad idea for a guy. I know this is, well, it's something that probably wouldn't be the same way like for a guy to do it to a girl, maybe. But I definitely know for sure that if you do this to a guy, it's much more probable for him to want to stay just with you. So basically this is all for today, and I'll basically see you in another day and with another video. And I hope basically this is something that could actually help many girls out there, and some guys too, I believe. And well, if you want to hear more, if you want to watch more videos, basically you can have just my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to it. And stay tuned basically for all the videos that I'm gonna keep making and filming, because I really like this idea of having my YouTube channel. So goodbye.